Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle a really common writing habit, one that a lot of us have, that can seriously weaken our sentences and kind of muddy up what we're trying to say. But the good news is, it's actually super easy to fix. Okay, let's just dive right in and look at these two sentences. Now, they're saying the exact same thing, but just feel the difference. The one on the right is shorter, it's clearer, and it just gets to the point, right? The one on the left feels a little heavy, a little clunky, while the one on the right feels active and direct. So what's going on here? Well, the culprit has this big, fancy name, nominalization. But don't let the word scare you. It's really just the simple act of taking a perfectly good action word, a verb, and burying it inside a noun. You know, like saying make a decision instead of just decide, or conduct an investigation instead of just investigate. But you might be thinking, so what? Why is this such a big deal? I mean, we do it all the time, especially when we want to sound more formal or academic. The thing is, while it might sound sophisticated, it's actually making your writing weaker in a few really key ways. It basically creates three big problems for you. First off, it just adds fluff, bloating your sentences with extra words you don't need. Second, it hides the action. It forces your reader to do extra work to figure out who is doing what. And third, and this is a tricky one, it can actually lead you into making grammatical mistakes. Let me show you how simple the fix is. Look at the phrase, "We conducted an investigation." That's 5 words to say what could be said in just one. We investigated. See how burying that action inside the noun, investigation, just adds all this unnecessary clutter? That one little change cuts the word count in that part of the sentence by 15%. You lose absolutely zero information, but you gain so much in clarity and power. It's a perfect example of writing smarter, not harder. And it's not just verbs. This shows you how it works with adjectives too. The first sentence is just this long list of nouns, oxidation, denaturation. The second version turns them back into descriptive words, oxidized, denatured. Instantly, the whole sentence is cleaner, more concise, and honestly, a lot easier to read. And remember that third point about making mistakes? Well, here's our real-world example from a published scientific paper. The authors tried to turn the verb utilize into a noun, but they ended up creating a word that, well, it doesn't exist. They should have written utilization, or, even better, just the simple word use. It's an easy trap to fall into. Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem. Now how do we fix it? Well, the good news is there's a really straightforward process you can use to hunt down and eliminate these sentence-weakening nouns. It's really just a simple 3-step fix. First, you scan your sentence and find the noun that's secretly hiding the real action. Then, you ask that simple question. Who is doing what? That'll help you find the true subject and verb. And finally, you just rewrite the sentence to put that action right back in the driver's seat. Let's try it out. In that first sentence, the action is buried in the noun difference. So we ask, who is doing what? Well, the reaction rates are differing. So we rewrite it. Instead of that passive, there is a difference, we get the punchy, direct statement, the reaction rates differ. It's shorter, it's stronger, it's just plain better. Now, I get it. The hardest part is often just spotting this stuff in your own writing. We get so used to seeing these phrases everywhere that our brains just kind of skim over them. But there are some common warning signs you can train your eyes to look for. Think of these verbs as little red flags. Whenever you see these weak generic verbs like make, conduct, or perform, there's a very good chance they're just propping up a noun that has stolen the real action. So if you write, we made a decision, that verb made is your clue that the real action is probably hiding in decision. The goal is to make this transformation almost automatic. Instead of made the decision, just write decided. Instead of that mouthful, perform the development of, just say developed. Every single time, you're swapping a clunky phrase for a single powerful verb. So after all this, am I saying you should get rid of these nouns completely? Well, surprisingly, no. It turns out there are actually times when nominalization can be your friend, as long as you're using it strategically. It can be a fantastic tool for linking your ideas together. Look here, the first sentence introduces a new concept, a gas was discovered. Then the second sentence cleverly turns that verb into the noun discovery, making it the main topic. It creates this smooth, logical bridge from one thought to the next. It's pretty cool when used right. Okay, to wrap things up, let's see how all this advice works in the real world. We're going to look at a complete before and after of a professional bio. So here's the original summary from a researcher's LinkedIn page. And you can hear it, right? It's just loaded with these nominalizations. Development, creation, production. It feels really impersonal and abstract, and to be honest, it's a little tough to get through. Now, check out the revision. The author immediately takes ownership with my and I, but the big change is turning those nouns back into strong active verbs, aims to develop, to create, I combine, to convert. The result is so much clearer, more direct, and way more engaging. You actually get a sense of a real person doing things. And just look at the numbers. That's a 30% drop in word count, which is huge. But the real win here isn't just that it's shorter. It's the massive increase in clarity and impact. The second version is just so much more effective at communicating who this person is and what they do. So the next time you're writing anything, an important email, a report, your resume, just take a minute to go on a hunt for these hidden actions. Find those nouns that are weighing your sentences down and unleash the powerful verbs that are hiding inside. It is one of the fastest ways to make your writing instantly stronger.